She is also a coach at the National Sports Authority, a world rugby educator, and a member of the Rugby Africa Committee. Now, she said something profound that I picked up before this conversation. Now, she says, put your best rugby, and rugby will give you a chance to excel. Wow. Where did that come from, Rafatu?
I think, thank you very much for having me. I think all this came as a result of knowing where you are coming from and the struggles you've been through. And I believe that when you're able to put out your best, people out there will see what you are doing, and definitely you'll excel.
So put out your best and rugby will give you a chance.
Absolutely.
So you can clearly say or confidently say that rugby has given you, Rafatu, a chance. Can you say that?
Definitely, because looking at where I came from, coming from the secondary school and had the opportunity to be part of the first women's team of Ghana Rugby, and knowing how sports has been through in my life, I was able to be selected among the first national team. And so you can see my journey is not only being a board member of Ghana Rugby. I was a player, I started coaching, and now I'm doing my administrative work on the board of Ghana Rugby. And internationally, it's been, we were part of a group of women across Africa, which in 2020, we were named the 12 Unstoppables of Africa Rugby.
12 Unstoppables?
Yeah. So it all came because of the hard work each and every one of us were putting across our various countries.
Listen, I was reading about you, and ladies, this is what I found out about her. That in 2019, you won the Challenge Trophy on your very first attempt in the Africa Sevens tournament. Yeah. And then in February 2020, you also graduated as the first female rugby educator in Ghana.
Wow. That's right.
Wow.
Amazing, amazing.
But first of all, I think we are all very curious. Why rugby? Why not football, basketball, or anything? Why rugby?
I think, first of all, I would say I love sports. I basically started with athletics and was playing football as well. With athletics, I started with long distance. So I go for 1,500, 3,000 and 800 meters, and then football aside. So when I came from secondary school, one of my cousins told me that they want to introduce women's rugby in Ghana. So would you like to try? And I said, why not? So he gave me transportation to go to Legon to go and join the Justify. So fortunately for me, when I got there, I immediately developed interest because I knew he was also playing rugby. So that's how it started. And I like to be active. I don't want to say I want to play. So rugby is more or less an action sport. An action sports for both men and women, kids, and rugby is for all sizes and shapes.
I like that.
I like that. For all sizes and shapes.
Yeah, whether you're slim, short, fat, everybody has position for each.
I won't lie to you. Every time I hear rugby, and when it's related to Africa, I only think of South Africa.
Yeah.
I only think of South Africa.
Yeah.
And from what I know, South Africa has won the Rugby World Championship title 3 times. And so every time there's even a representation, most likely it is a South African team that represents it. So when we were told you were coming on, the first question I asked myself is, we actually have rugby teams in this country? Because I didn't even think that it existed.
We don't hear about it.
For a very long time, all we talk about is football and then basketball, which is also struggling. There's tennis, equally struggling. So rugby, how easy or difficult has it been growing this sport in a country that probably doesn't even focus much on it?
Thank you very much. I would say that we had the previous administration, which I used to be part of it. And then when the new administration headed by Mr. Herbert Mensah came, and then he said he wants to change women's rugby. He wants to change the face because our international body wanted women to get involved in terms of coaching, administration, and all of that. So when he came, he said, look, you need to come and move women's rugby. So I then came in, and then I said, let me form a women's team, which is Conquest Ladies, and we've been the defending champions for 3 years.
Was it easy even getting women to join the team?
It wasn't actually. I sometimes go to the market, the roadside. I ride bicycles on the road. Sometimes I'll just be walking in the market, and then schools as well. So I started with the Get Into Rugby program. It's a World Rugby program whereby you go to the schools and communities and go and look for players to come and play at the bottom level so that you develop them to a standard one. So I started with that. Now back to South Africa. Yeah. You can see with the video being played. Fortunately for us, last year in Tunisia, we played against South Africa. Okay. Of course, we know they are the best. Yes. And then I think 1 or 2 mistakes that we did because we lacked that experience. So we didn't win. But the gap was very small. Oh, good. And one of my girls, Nimatu, did some tackle that the whole crowd was a boom. Yeah. And so the Ghana women's team are really pushing harder since 2019. We are currently ranked 7th out of nowhere in Africa. Yeah. And so we are heading towards to be on top.
Well, yes. We weren't even on the list at all.
No, we weren't.
To number 7.
Yes. In 2019, when we were invited, we were 12th at the bottom. Oh, okay. And then so we managed to be 9th on that position. And last year, when we got to Tunisia, it was a very tough games for us, meeting Zimbabwe, which is a rugby playing nation. We all know Ghana is a non-playing rugby nation. We are now trying to change the perception, the face and perception of rugby.
But I'm surprised. You see, when you look at the South Africans, they are very hefty. Yeah. And I've seen that it's a very physical game. But you don't look too hefty. You're much slender than what we see on TV. And we want to have an understanding of the game. Because I think just one person picks a ball and the rest of the team are running after the person. Just to, and they all lay on. What is that?
It even confuses. Yes. I get confused with American football.
Exactly. Yes. What is that? Yeah. What are we? Where's the goalpost? What are we running for?
Explain the game of rugby to us.
I think basically we have the key rugby that internationally being played. We have the 15s and we have the 7s. With the 7s, you have probably my size and a little bit mixed with bulky ones. But with the 15s, you have, most of them are very bulky, where you have a lot of people. Yeah. The 7s is very quick. And it's been passed. The ball is held with 2 hands, been passing backwards and moving forward to go and score. And when you're scoring, you just ground the ball close to the at the in-goal area where we normally score, probably because the goalposts are not here. I'm not able to
understand.
So it's all about holding the ball in 2 hands, going forward while running.
While you're running.
Yes. So you don't have to lose the ball when you're running.
Exactly, because when the ball falls from your hand, it's a foul against you. The referee will call for a knock-on, and then you call for something called a scrum, where you have to contest in the scrum to win. Whoever wins.
How do you run with your 2 arms like this?
No, like the ball is in your hands, hands,
and you're running
in order to be able to
one and use the other hand to
protect the ball. You need to grip the ball in 2 hands. Yes, some people are skillful to be able to handle the ball with 1 hand, but it is preferable to hold with 2 hands to keep it safe.
Until you cross that line.
Until if the opponent gives you that, because you have to
maneuver your way.
Can you pass the ball?
You can pass it. You pass the ball backwards. So, so with the 7s, you have
through your legs, though.
To
the side.
Yeah. So with the 7s, you have 7 on the field, and then you have 5 reserves. So on the field, you have 7s. You'll be passing backwards. So the ball carrier
7 per side, right?
Yes, yes. The ball carrier moves forward with the ball, passes the ball behind to its player. The player also go forward. So it's about going forward and passing backward till you get to the goal area.
Now, if I may, on the issue of, and you touched on it, Ghana being a non-rugby playing nation. Now, in the issue of funding and policy direction, because Ghana, even for many sports, from basketball through to tennis, they all complain of the lack of sort of governmental support and push. And even with female football, it's still very undervalued in our general scheme of things. Now, coming to female rugby. Now, on the issue of funding, because you need to attend games, you need to go to tournaments, you need to meet other, you need to keep fit, you need to ensure that your females are in top shape and are able to get from place to place. How does the Female Association or Ghana Rugby Association in general, how are you able to keep afloat?
I think, first of all, I must say that we are very grateful to have the Ghana Rugby president, who is so keen to develop, empower women's rugby and women in general. We are blessed to have him because ever since he came and said we need to develop and empower women's rugby, he was the sole sponsor and financier behind not only the women, but Ghana Rugby in general. We lack support from government, of course. It's not only rugby, but you have it with various sporting federations. We all know that in Ghana, it's football who normally gets all the attention, but other sports, and Ghana Rugby, to be specific, have been bringing trophies for the past year since Mr. Herbert Mensah came to power. So basically, the financial aspect of it is very difficult, very, very difficult, and we are hoping and praying that other corporate bodies will come to our aid in order to push women's rugby and all sports in general, because the women are really lifting the flag of Ghana high, and therefore need to be appreciated and encouraged and pushed along.
So if you have to speak to government officials, the sports ministry now, about the major needs of your team, what would they be?
We are currently, for instance, we are preparing for the pre-Olympics qualification, which is in June, and we are pleading on the government, the Minister of Sports, to come to our aid, because we need to camp, we need nutrition for the players, we need medicals for the players, and currently is the president of Ghana Rugby, who is so, of course, to get to a time, he will be tired, tired of. So we are aiding, praying to the government officials to come to our aid, because women are the future. Women are lifting the flag of Ghana at so many levels that you can imagine. The trophies, uncountable trophies. So why are they being left aside? They can do what the men are doing. So they should give them the chance and give them opportunity, and they will see what the women can do to change the face of sports in Ghana.
Do you have a rugby pitch?
We currently don't have a rugby pitch. I think the LOC for the 2023-2024 now are currently ongoing construction at Legon for us to get,
a pitch there.
Yeah, but currently we are using St. Thomas Aquinas to play our matches, internal matches. But when we do have international competition, we probably use the Accra Sports Stadium or Elmina or Cape Coast Stadium.
Is it because you can use the regular football pitch for
Yes, just the marking.
They have to change the marking.
The marking. We just change the marking, and then we change the goalposts.
Have you guys played at Baba Yara before?
No, but in 2021 we played at the university where we hosted the West Africa games, and then Ghana, both men and women, won that year.
Amazing.
So we are yet to see if the government should give us the opportunity to play at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. That would be great.
I mentioned Baba Yara for a specific reason, because it's been 23 years and we haven't lost a game at Baba Yara. I don't know whether it's a Yara or it's a Baba.
The Baba is working
exactly. That's working the magic. But of course, I'm sure you are familiar with the story. Have you watched a football game over there though?
I did once. It's been a long time, but looking at the facilities being put out now, and I believe we are praying that there shouldn't be that break of record that has been put in Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Probably we do have a luck from Baba Yara. We hope that it stays and we keep winning at the stadium.